Good grief. Why do they never go in for me?
Hi everyone, back again, another video. Yeah, it's 5 years to the day since I made my first video. Where has that 5 years gone? That's just absolutely incredible. Don't know what's been going on there. Kind of scary really. So, to celebrate the fact that I've wasted 5 years doing videos. Wasted? Don't know. Is it waste? I don't know. I'm sure people get a lot out of these things. Anyway, so to celebrate the fact that I've been doing these things for 5 years, I thought I would go back to my very first vinyl Wodge and take another listen to the records. Now, I don't think I actually listened to the records in my first vinyl Wodge. I think I just spouted off about a load of stuff that I'd got. Don't think I'd actually listened to any of it. And it wasn't just albums. There were at least a ridiculous number of albums, including like a whole Wodge Labber albums. There were CDs, I think singles, all kinds of stuff. So I've just picked out half the albums, because I think there were 16 albums that I showed in my first video. So I've taken half of them, listened to them again. I'm going to try and listen to the other half at another top point and then do a part 2 to this. But here we go. Vinyl Wodge number 1, Redux. So, part 1. So the first album that I got to listen to this time. So this is Stephen Tintin Duffy's album, Kiss Me. No, not Kiss Me. The Ups and Downs. And this was an interesting listen, this one. I mean, so Stephen Duffy, if you don't know, was a member of Duran Duran way before they became famous. And he left fairly soon into their career, I think. But he still wrote songs and stuff. And he eventually he had a hit with Kiss Me after it had been released about 3 or 4 times, I think. Which is it's a brilliant 80s single, absolutely brilliant one. Now this album, it's got quite a dated sound. It's quite it's a real 80s album, but not in a, like, the sound of it is quite very stock 80s sound. Which is quite a shame really. Some of the songs, especially the side 1, track 5, the last song, the final songs on each side, Wednesday Jones and The World at Large Alone, are really good kind of acousticy songs. I don't know whether, maybe that's where he was always, his heart always lay, because later he formed the Lilac Time, which more of an acoustic proposition, or record under the name of Lilac Time. But yeah, those 2 songs, really, really good, really good. Well, sound way ahead of the rest of the album. They've got a kind of more of a timeless quality, whereas the rest of it sounds a bit dated, to be honest. So that's the first one. Stephen Tintin Duffy, The Ups and Downs. Big, massive act in the 80s, well, when this came out. So I also picked up, back in 5 years ago, a copy of Fairground Attraction's debut album, First of a Million Kisses. This is released in 1988, and it's quite a lovely album. There's a lot of really lovely songs on here. Quite jazzy in places. Got that kind of acoustic jazz kind of feel that I think a lot of bands had it in the 80s. I'll show you the label of that one. There's that label. I think this has got a lyric book as well. Of course, this has got Perfect on it, which was the #1 single in the UK. Has it got a picture? Has it got a lovely picture of the band? There we go, there's Eddie Reader. Lovely picture of the band, there we go. It's also got Find My Love, which is a lovely, lovely little song. And it's just a real pleasant listen, that one. Really lovely. What I'll do is I'm going to do that one. So we've got that one. Also in this batch was, now I think this is the second album, but also this album by Black, So Black was Colin, what's his name? I cannot remember what the guy's name was. Colin Verncombe. Colin Verncombe, who I think he passed away a little while ago, didn't he? But this is another great album, really good stuff. More sort of kind of very laid back, cool, jazzy, slightly jazzy. Massive hit, Wonderful Life was on here. Another hit, Sweetest Smile. Another really lovely album, just right for this sort of time. The sun's finally showing itself in the UK this week, and yeah, that's another nice one. So Black's A Wonderful Life, which was a great album. Totally opposite in style was this one. This is an absolute classic, so I picked this up as well. So this is an absolute classic from start to finish. Sleazy, high energy, a lot of it. 3 classic songs, absolute classic songs on here. 3 classic singles. So you've got Tainted Love, which is possibly one of the biggest songs of the 80s. You've got Bedsitter, absolutely brilliant single. And then one of my favourite tracks of all time. I know I probably say this all the time, but Say Hello, Wave Goodbye, I think is just, it is a perfect kitchen sink drama. I just think it's a perfect song. Then you've got things like CD Films, Sex Dwarf, which is quite disturbing actually. Like it's quite frustration, chips on my shoulder, like just being basically unhappy with life, sleaze, sex. Damn fine album. So Soft Cell's Non-Stop Erotic Cabaret. If you see a copy of this, get this, because this is brilliant. Right. What have we got now? What should I do now? So halfway through, let's do that one. I don't know why I picked this up. Maybe I picked this up just because, well, I wouldn't have paid more than £1 for it. So this is Saga with their album Behaviour. I think this is, it's kind of proggy, poppy. It's an interesting listen, not a particularly marvellous listen. What's the label look like? On Portrait Records. It's alright. It's an interesting listen, but I can't say that it's really dated that well. Not like Soft Cell and the Fairground Attraction albums. I think have dated much better than this. It's not a bad listen. It's quite nice to go back and listen to it again, but I don't know. It's probably been 5 years since I listened to this, and probably be another 5 years at least before I listen to it again. But there you go. Right, so along with all the ABBA albums that I showed in the original Vinyl Wodge #1, I also showed this, which was Frida's second solo album. This is pretty good actually. Some of this is really good. So this is a second solo album released in 1984. So it's typically 80s style cover, but we've got some really good, like there's Kirsty MacColl. Well, it's produced by Steve Lillywhite. Produced by Steve Lillywhite, who was married to Kirsty MacColl at the time, so she got involved in it, and so did Simon Climie. So there's 3 Kirsty MacColl co-writes on this. You've got a track co-written by David Dundas, who was that Jeans song guy. There's a song by Stuart Adamson from Big Country, which is actually pretty good. Frida wrote one song herself, and there's a Benny and Bjorn song on here as well. But the best song is possibly Twist in the Dark by Anderleek. I'm not sure where that's come from, but that's a great song as well. So this is really good, I thought, and it's released on Polar, which is the ABBA album. Mark Brichetti, or whatever his name was, he's a drummer from Big Country's on there. He's drumming, which is probably where she got the Stuart Adamson song from. Yeah, it's really good. I really enjoy listening to this one again, and I really should listen to this again. So yeah, really glad I pulled that one out again. So that was Frida, and it's called Shine. That was really good. Right, I'll do this one next. Now, I bought this one because I remember one song off it. Well, one song was performed. I went on Top of the Pops once in 1984, and this guy was in the studio when I was there. So this is Rick Springfield. He had a hit with a song called The Human Touch, which I really do like, which is the first track on here. I mean, this is okay. It's fairly typical 80s. I mean, you know what you're getting when you see a guy dressed like that. Sort of fairly typical mainstream American rock. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Called Living in Oz. Don't know why. Doesn't he look lovely? I do really still like The Human Touch. I think that is a really good track. I really rate that. But the rest of it, maybe I've heard better stuff. But I am glad I got it, because I know I've been looking for that for ages, a copy of Human Touch, because I just wanted that track. So it's nice to grab that. It's nice to listen to it again. And then probably the pick of the bunch. This is a band called The Adventures, who are an Irish band. This is I think it's their debut album from 1985. This is excellent. This is really good stuff. They didn't have any hits on this one, but they eventually came out and did Broken Land, which I think was a UK top 20 track. But this is fabulous. It is that kind of anthemic rock, but it feels more intimate. So I just think the songs are great, well played, absolutely gobsmacked that this was that good on that Chrysalis label. I think they released maybe one or two other albums, and then they split up, which is a shame. I really, really need to sort out those other albums, because this has been fabulous. It's been absolutely brilliant playing that again. So this is Theodore and Friends, that's what it's called. So yeah, I've had a bit of a whale of a time revisiting Vinyl Wodge 1. So I hope this, you might go and investigate some of these things, just like I've reinvestigated them myself. So thanks everyone for watching. I hope you found that interesting. I have. And I'll see you all again soon. Bye everyone. Bye.